I'm proud to announce a new organisation called NotCon, because we're Conservatives, but we're not those Conservatives. And also, it's not a con. You can tell that because it's written on the backdrop. Yes, the Conservative Party has been in power for, well, technically nearly a decade and a half, but we're not those Conservatives anymore. We're the proper Conservatives, although we're not PropCon. That's a separate organisation. We want to be the voice of the voiceless, the power of the powerless, and the heart of the heartless. This country, and by country I of course mean England, is full of secret Conservatives. People who don't talk about it because they're worried about the effect it would have on their workplace or their family or their conscience. We believe in democracy. If you vote Conservative, then Conservatives get to do what they like. We don't need lefty judges or lefty lawyers or rules or conventions or international obligations to tell us what to do. No, we get to do what we like. If people don't vote Conservative, it's a very different matter. Checks and balances are vital. People say we're not popular. Well, I think you'll find we've been trending on X all day. Don't look at what people are saying. We've been trending. That's all that matters. We have to take on the left-wing extremists. Of course, they don't call themselves left-wing extremists anymore. No, they disguise themselves as volunteers or charity workers or children or ethnic minorities or LGBT or poor people. But we know what they really are. They're trying to stifle dissent, so they must be crushed. The left have been on the march. I mean, quite literally in many cases. So many marches. I mean, where are our marches anyway? Just because people don't want to come out and march with us doesn't mean they don't like us. They just don't want to be seen in public with us. And it's very different. That's why all of our marches happen in secret, in the dark. We've spent too much time worrying about getting invited to North London dinner parties. Let me tell you, I don't get invited to many North London dinner parties, and not since the incident. In my defence, I was sure that chicken was vegan. Look, we're environmentalists. We want to leave this planet in a better state than when we found it. And personally, I think warmer is better. If you think about it, coal is actually more sustainable than wind, isn't it? Because you have to build wind turbines, whereas coal, just there, just burn it. And coal used to be made out of trees that were sort of blown in the wind. So in a way, it's the same, isn't it? Am I stupid enough to believe this, or am I just being cynical? NotCon is about never having to make that choice. People say, what do you think about all of these big problems like climate change or LGBT rights or racial justice or inequality? And I say, we just don't. So that makes it easier. The problem is that lefties have got everywhere. They're in every institution. Yeah? Wokeism is on the curriculum in our schools, on the menu in our restaurants, on the operating table in our hospitals. The only place I'm sure isn't woke is inside my own brain. And once I felt slightly sorry for a homeless person, so you've got to be vigilant. Lefties have infected everything with wokeness, haven't they? Art, theatre, television, sport, the weather. Music, with one shining exception, our special guest Holly Valance, a beautiful, talented lady who shows that if we could simply marry off all of our pop stars to rich property developers, then maybe we'd have a chance with the TikTok generation. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to dash. I've got another launch event for TopCon.